Yo guys, what's up? Axon back with another video today, and we doing another Genshin tier list. You know, it's been a while since I made a video, but I'll be uploading more consistently. I'll be talking about, the next, the Eula rerun. I have a lot to talk about Eula, because I am a big fan of Eula. I personally have her, probably my favorite DPS in the game right now. But besides that, we have a tier list to do. Now, Thoma has come out recently, kind of a polarizing character, but I always give my honest opinion on these new characters. I don't hold back when it comes to new characters. I get a lot of hate for not holding back because the Genshin community is kind of toxic at times, but I give my honest opinion. It's my opinion. It may be wrong. You guys always have your own opinion. Let me know what your opinion is down in the comments. But that's starting off Ning Wong S- tier, no reaction damage, just pure geo damage, which kind of holds her back if she was, if she had reactions and was kind of a different element. Could have been better. Sucrose, everyone knows how much I love Sucrose, one of my favorite characters in the game. S+ tier character, elemental mastery, just the full package. Hoarding, Anemos, so good. Diona, good battery, shields, healer, pretty much is an all-around good support. You can't really go wrong with her. Albedo just got announced for a rerun, and let me just say, I'm on the Albedo hype train. I really love Albedo. I think he, at the time when he first released, people didn't really see the potential of Albedo. Albedo has gone better in people's eyes over time, and I am one who used to not really like Albedo and didn't think he was that good. But I have changed my opinion over time, and I believe Albedo really does deserve his spot in S tier with, giving elemental mastery, good geo resonance, especially if you have a Zhongli. Albedo, good overall around. Xingqiu, top 5, probably I'll have him top 5 for now. Xingqiu, just a really good support. Really, you can't go wrong with him. Pretty much a good support for any character. Zhao, one of my favorite DPS in the characters in the game, and one of the best DPS characters in the game. He's a character who doesn't really need that many good supports. You just need to have certain supports to work with him, right? He doesn't need a Xingqiu. He doesn't really need a Sucrose unless you're using your battery or a Diona, right? He is just a guy who does a lot of damage without interactions. Just good overall. Beidou, last time I had her S tier. I'll have her for right now, but in my opinion, Beidou's kind of weird right now. Kind of a weird spot with just Electro not having good reaction damage. Fischl, S- tier. A lot of people are high on Fischl, but I personally am not. She is a good battery, does decent Electro damage, but I just feel like Electro damage, Electro reactions are just not good in general, in my opinion. This Traveler, Geo Traveler, and well, I'm just gonna consider this all the Travelers, but just Traveler in general is like an A+ tier character. I believe the Electro Traveler is like an S- because he gives like energy to all types and gives decent Electro, reaction damage. So A+ tier for right now. Just gonna count as all Travelers because I really don't want to go through all the Travelers. Like Animal and Geo Traveler are probably here, and Electro Traveler is probably here in my opinion. Alloy, probably here too. Does good damage, but besides that, she has really nothing else going for her. Alloy is just the character that's in the game that really didn't need to be in it. It's just that we have her in because of collab. Diluc S tier. Diluc goated. No matter who says it, Diluc is still a really good DPS. Even though he's not top tier, the best DPS when the game first started, he is still a really good DPS in the game. So Diluc gets a lot of hate, but he deserves his S tier spot. Razor, S-, just because he's Electro. He's mainly a physical damage dealer, but he's not on the level of someone like per se to Eula, for example. Mona, S tier. Like, I get a lot of hate because people say Mona is better than Sucrose, but I really much believe Sucrose is a better version of Mona. Mona definitely does have the water element aspect, but Animal is just so good in the game. That's why I personally have Sucrose above Mona. Klee, S tier character, clunky but has good damage, and is the best element in the game. Pyro. Kokomi, last time I had her A+. I probably am gonna keep her here. Maybe move Alloy down because I'll keep Alloy there. But Kokomi, she's good, but I don't know if she's up here with Official, Razor, and Ning Wong. I'll have her decided by the end of the tier list. I gave her more input last tier list, so if you want to hear all my complaints and all my thoughts about her, the plus and minuses of Kokomi, you can watch my last tier list. But pretty much Kokomi is just a healer, good for like a vape comp, taser comps, right? She's just good for that, but other than that, I don't really see a reason why you use Kokomi over some healers above her. Eula, best physical damage carry in the game. It's probably like the best character to speed run content with. So easy to use. Her teammates, like her supports, you don't really need to have these top tier characters like Sucro, Xingqiu, but you do kind of need like someone like a Diona or something like that. But Eula, really good character, doesn't really need these top tier supports. Xinglang, also really good DPS. She's kind of like the opposite of Eula because she needs some of these really good supports like a Xingqiu, a Bennett, a Child, but Xinglang kind of still gives out the output of a Eula, in my opinion, and sometimes even higher because she's a pyro damage, but she's on the same level, right? Kaya, one of the most underrated characters in the game, S- tier character for me. Kaya's just really good. Just everything you need for a cryo character, you know, just can give consistent cryo damage every time you need. Really good for burst comps. Jean, one of the best healers in the game, S tier character. Maybe S plus. I don't remember what I had in our last tier list. But I kind of haven't changed my opinion on Jean. An S tier character, maybe S plus. However, S plus for right now. Jean is really good. She's really good at with just like taking off all the elements you have on your character. So you know, get her good at cleansing. Animo, you know, Animo's is a really good element in the game. You know, Jean's just really good overall. Would be the best healer if Bennett didn't exist. You know, the Pyro Archon. Barbara is A plus character, kind of just like Kokomi, but Kokomi's kind of a little bit better. But Barbara is a 4-star, so with constellations, she kind of makes up for it, in my opinion. Ayaka, S plus tier character. She's really good as a burst DPS. You can use her as a main DPS, but I think a burst DPS with just sending out your ults, using someone else like another DPS can work better. But Ayaka, a really good burst DPS or main DPS. I don't think she's on the level of a Ganyu or a Xinglang. Well, they're kind of on the same level, but I don't think she has the value or that damage output as someone as a Xinglang. But still on the same tier. Venti, it's tough to put him top 5, but I'll have him S plus tier right now. We all know how good Venti is, a great character overall. Venti's just goated. Animal Archon, really good at hoarding, does the best at what he does. Put him top 5 for right now. I'll change it later if depending on who I have at top 5. Top 5 has changed because mainly only changes because of the Spiral Abyss and who you value. But Venti top 5 for right now because he's pretty cracked in the Spiral Abyss right now. Chongyun, probably also one of the most underrated characters in the game. I give my opinion why Chongyun should be S- tier, but Chongyun right now is really good in the game. I used to underrate Chongyun, but Chongyun is really good. I think he deserves his S- spots as a DPS, and occasionally when you're fighting the best hero T is a really good support. Bennett, top 5. You can't really say otherwise. Just Bennett top 5. Also, before I even get into further tier list, these aren't ordered. I'm not saying Sucrose is better than Xinglang or Xinglang is better than Jean or Eula is better than Xinglang. These aren't ordered at all, and even, none of these tiers are ordered. So just letting you know before I get farther in the video, none of these tiers are ordered because people always say, oh, why do you have Jean above Ayaka? I don't have her above Ayaka. They're just in the same tier, okay? Don't be on my back. Kujo Sara, S- tier character. Had so much potential in the game. Really good at character design, but kind of a very clunky and buggy character, but she can buff characters. She has an aim shot decently. You know, a very decent character, a very mid character, but has good stuff in her kit that makes her S- tier, mainly her buffing. We're not using this Traveler because this is pretty much the Traveler for all the characters. Rosaria, definitely a S- tier character. The reason I love using Rosaria is one of my favorite characters in the game, but there is a limit to how good Rosaria is. She is just a sub DPS that can only apply cryo, and that's pretty much it, and give you like crit rate, depending if you really need that or not. But you know, still gives you crit rate. It's a plus. But she is just a damage output character, right? Rosaria and Kaya aren't that far apart, right? Rosaria is just pretty much out there to give constant cryo damage and act as a battery. So Rosaria is just a sub DPS, what I'm trying to say. Just out there to do damage. There's nothing really special about her. Chi-Chi, A+ tier, you know, just a pure healer. Probably gives the best heals, but you know, just doing healing is kind of just not enough for a character in this game, because you got someone who like Bennett who can do more than just healing. He can heal and buff and can apply cryo. Pyro, which is like a really good element. Hu Tao, S+ tier character. I recently pulled her. I haven't done a video about me talking about her, but I've just been slowly trying to build her and understand her as a character. Really good character. With Thoma in the game, makes her easier to play because now you have a shield character. But Hu Tao, really good overall. Yoimiya is a character that is kind of polarizing. A lot of people have a lot of issues with her about, you know, being a bow character and slow to apply pyro. But it kind of has the same problems as someone like a Diluc, but Diluc kind of doesn't have as many problems as Yoimiya. Yoimiya and Diluc are kind of on the same tier in my opinion. So that's where I kind of stand with Yoimiya. She is kind of like a child, like a little worse version of child, because you know she can't apply pyro super fast, and you know, her cooldown is kind of the same as child. But overall, Yoimiya is a good DPS, sub DPS, whatever you're trying to use her as. But you know, just good overall in my opinion. Raiden, not gonna lie, really feel like putting Raiden top 5. When Raiden first came out, she got a lot of hate, a lot of hate. And I recently did a poll. If you haven't checked, I've done polls on my community like a tab. So in case you didn't know, I do polls. And a lot of people love Raiden. A lot of people saying, I asked people, who is your favorite Archon, Zhongli, Raiden, or Venti, right? And it was a majority people said Raiden. And I didn't really know that many people liked Raiden because of how much hate she got when she first came out. And I kind of feel confident with even saying I'd want her top 5 characters in the game, because it was a tough topic, because a lot of people hated on Raiden, but a lot of people now are getting to see and realize how good Raiden is. And I am one of those people since day one has been a Raiden fan, right? I first pulled her, I was hyped for her. I pulled her, I immediately thought she was S+ tier, thought she was a really good character. A lot of people were saying she was one of the worst 5 stars in a game, but Raiden was a really good character. People just wanted to hate on her for some reason, maybe because she was a different Archon, or maybe I'm not too sure why people wanted to hate on Raiden, and I really never saw it. Maybe because she didn't work with Beidou and a lot of people wanted to trash on her for it. But Raiden, a really good character, even arguable top 5 character in the game. Yanfei, S- here, kind of like Ning Wang. Doesn't have the pure raw damage as Ning Wang, but makes up for it with her reaction damage, in my opinion. Noelle, what can I say about Noelle? C6 Noelle probably is her peak, but if you have any other character C6, I believe they are probably better than Noelle, in my opinion. Child, talking about Child nowadays, right? Recently, I've had Child at S tier. I'm a huge fan of Child, but I really saw the issues with Child. But nowadays, Child is kind of getting at the level where he was in the beginning, right? He was a main DPS. Now he's kind of become, you know, someone who just applies Hydro, and he is really good for it, right? Kind of at a level of a Xingqiu, can apply Hydro faster than Xingqiu. But Xingqiu is just a better support overall, because you don't have to have him on the field like Child. So Child is a very interesting character, because at the time, the only reason he's gone kind of better, because Child and Diluc, when they first came out, were kind of on the same level. The reason why Child has kind of surpassed Diluc is because the supports, DPS, and the realizations with some characters kind of have made Child a better character without having to buff him, in my opinion. right? I talked about this in the past in one of my old videos that has aged terribly, the problem with Child or something like that, or like why Child would become irrelevant, but I completely missed the point. But Child was a character that I thought if they add a really good Hydro DPS in the game, Child would kind of not be that good anymore, because then we will have someone else to apply Hydro. But with people like Xinglang and Beidou and what's it called, Raiden, people with those type of characters, and Thoma have just been emphasizing why Child is so good, is his ability to, you know, apply Hydro so fast. So I'm kind of feeling like putting Child in S+ tier just because of it. Child has been doing really good in the game state lately. He's been getting a lot of team comps with, you know, Raiden and Xinglang. So I kind of feel comfortable with putting him S+ tier. That's how I kind of feel right now. There's so many good supports and DPS kind of just coming out that work so well with Child, that Child's value has just increased so much. So Child right there, S+ tier, and plus, you know, we have those Hydro, the Pyro Hypostasis that has only made Child more valuable over time. Xinyan, A tier character. What can I say about her? So she's kind of buggy. Her shield is not good. It kind of only works like a couple times, right? Her shield is underwhelming. I really love Xinyan as a character, but I gotta admit, her faults, she's not that good. Sayu, A+ tier character, a very fun character to play, but when you look at all the other animal characters, she is not up to par in my opinion. And especially because she has to be on the field to actually do her maximum like output, like to use her to the fullest. You know, just not my opinion, not the best character, but is definitely a very fun character to play with. Zhongli, everyone knows he's my top 5. Zhongli is so good in the game. You cannot really argue why Zhongli is so good. It's able to apply shields, just makes people immobilize at all heights. Like Mona can only immobilize small mobs. Zhongli can freeze everyone. So Zhongli's just really good shield, you know, just a very good character to use on any single team, and makes like pretty much all the Geo characters 10 times better in my opinion. Keqing, I pulled Keqing in my rating video, kind of had more time to, you know, get used to her, but I still believe she's S- here as I have her right now. You know, Keqing's just a character that's just solid, but just not good enough to be in these top tiers with Diluc, Beidou, like Klee and Yoimiya in my opinion. Amber, it's buff Amber, that's all I can really say. Amber's kind of down terrible and has been down terrible for a while. She's not even down terrible, she's down horrendous with her treatment she's been getting from Genshin. Honestly, Genshin really needs a buffer, but that will probably never happen. They'll just release a better Amber like how they've been doing with Ganyu and Yoimiya in my opinion. Right? Lisa, good in physical comps, that's all I can say. She barely hangs on to not being with Amber because, you know, physical comps exist and she's kind of decent in it. Not the best option, but decent. Ganyu, top 5 in my opinion. Top 5 right now, right? Top 5 DPS. Oh, and she's probably the best DPS in my opinion. You can't argue with me with that. Ganyu's just the best DPS. She can literally do everything. She literally has an ult that's super good, right? Just use her ult in general is able to put her into a S+ tier character or an S tier character because it's so good. Her taunt is easily super good, and having a just a sniper as an aim shot just makes her top 5. I really don't know why people consider anyone else as the best DPS besides Ganyu. Kazuha, top 5. We gotta make Kazuha's top 5. Kazuha's really good, but you know, Kazuha's is too good in my opinion. He's really good. Gets better with constellations, but C0 still deserving of this top 5 spot. Now, the best character for last, or you know, the most anticipated character for last, Thoma. Where would I put him, right? Thoma, polarizing character. When he first came, well, when he was first announced and first saw like what his character could do in like, you know, the videos, you know, the Genshin 2.2 live stream, 2.3 or whatever live stream there was. I'm pretty sure it was a 2.2 live stream. 2.3 is the upcoming one, but Thoma, you know, a lot of people thought he was going to be the Pyro Xingqiu. Obviously, that was a far stretch. I never even expected him to be a Pyro Xingqiu. I don't know why people saw that. We saw the gameplay. We saw that he was not applying like Pyro as fast as Xingqiu applied Hydro, and so I never really saw the aspect. I was more interested in his shield and what his shield could do, because I'm a person who doesn't have Zhongli, right? I'm a person who has Diona. I have Noelle. I have Jinyan, and you know, those are the only shield characters that I have. Diona's a good shielder, but you know, not the best shielder, not the character like on the level of Zhongli. But with Thoma, I was hyped to see what he can do with the shield, right? Because shield is such a niche thing in the game that the only person who can do a shield good or like top tier shields is Zhongli. But to see Thoma have a really good shield where all you have to do is keep on attacking and just have your ult and your E, and you just really have a good shield, and you kind of don't need a healer. For say, like, let's say you have a Hu Tao team where it's Hu Tao, Xingqiu, Thoma, and let's just say it's official, right? Just throwing in the fourth for a random option. I don't know. I'm not that the best with Hu Tao teams, but I know Thoma and Xingqiu are really good supports with Hu Tao, right? Just those three. You got a mini healer in Xingqiu, right? You can get heals kind of often. You just have to have the ult and you just have to use your E, and right, you have your heals, right, for Hu Tao, right? And you don't even really need healing for Hu Tao, but just in case, say you need it, just in case. Xingqiu just has a little bit of, right? Hu Tao, what's it called? Thoma is able to apply shields crazy, right? As long as you have your ults or your E, you have shields all the time. If you have your E and ult up and you use them both, you're gonna have shields crazy, right? You just gotta keep on attacking. You're just gonna tank all the damage. So, in my opinion, this might be controversial. I am high on Thoma, higher than most people. S- here. I think he's a really solid character. He is not in the top echelon of tiers, but what he does is shield, and he does it really good. Not at the level of Zhongli, but almost at the level of Zhongli. But that's kind of all he has is a shield, because applying Pyro is not kind of the best, because Pyro is more of like a DPS thing, right? Like if you're the DPS, being Pyro is real good, but applying Pyro as a support is not the best. It's like the same thing with like Bennett, right? No one like praises him because he's a Pyro character, because you know, of course, like he helps with, you know, just taking away like Abyss Mage's like shield and stuff like that. I think that's what they're called, right? Their shields, like just taking down like cryo enemies' shield, right? Just in that, you know, he's kind of useful for that. But like no one's saying if Bennett was a animal or an electro or a hydro or a cryo, he'd be worse. He'd be at the same level as he is right now, right? Bennett being Pyro is not the thing people have an issue with. It's the people praise Bennett, it's because he's a buffer and a healer. People are not praising Bennett because he's a Pyro character, right? You can obviously use him as a Pyro DPS, but he's much better as a healer, right? Thoma, being able to apply Pyro, it's alright. It's a fine thing to do. It's like an add-on to what he's able to do, which his main thing is to do is apply shields. So Thoma, in my opinion, he's great at what he do. I think Thoma will gain value over time when we have more characters like Hu Tao who don't really need healers and need more shields. So the more characters come out over time, the more I could see Thoma increase in value, in my opinion. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope you let me know what you think of Thoma, but peace out.